Hello and welcome to this episode of the Academy. On this episode, we're going to be looking at the election, its postponement, and its impact on Nigerian businesses. We meet to discuss on this topic is a political correspondent and the program anchor of the Economy and Politics show on Web TV, Mr. Abase. It's great to have you with us on the Academy.
Thank you very much, Tayo.
I must say it's been a very interesting season this month, particularly because of the elections that have been going on. But what has been political terrain been like in Nigeria so far?
Prior to the last week, the terrain was very intense with campaigns, discussions, town hall meetings by the major candidates for the presidential election, and also National Assembly aspirants, as well as gubernatorial experience. But on Saturday, when the election postponement was announced by the electoral body chairman, Professor Atairu Jega, uncertainty is now driving the socio-political scale, which is not too good at the moment, despite the fact that President Jonathan has urged Nigerians to take it in good faith. The market at the moment is not taking it in good faith. The market is down 1.7% to 29,446. It's looked at, according to Bloomberg, as the worst in the globe after Ukraine.
Okay, now on to the election postponement. I mean, it has been unconfirmed yet, but tentatively that by March 28th, the presidential elections will hold, and then by April 11th, the gubernatorial elections will hold. What exactly is the impact of this postponement on Nigerian businesses?
The impact, first looking at the capital market, like I stated earlier, it's down, and with that index, analysis from Bloomberg and even ProShare research team released its own report about the impact concerning the fact that we have over 50%, about 52% of foreign investors dominating the space. They are cautious. They don't like uncertainty. And so for now, activity is low and stock prices are down. That's on the capital market axis. Then also the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, one of the big chambers in the country, Mr. Remi Bello, said political uncertainty or election postponement like this will affect the investor confidence, will also affect the capital flows as we expect at the moment. Also, you can see that even at the micro level, programs, activities, even to base things like, or relevant things like weddings, which has a lot of businesses tied to it, like decorations, catering and all that, are going to be affected because they have to reschedule them and scale them. Also, the aspect also that it will really affect is the currency value. Our currency value now is on the verge of going to 200 naira to a dollar, and that will need the central bank to intervene when it gets to the 200 band. And that will be very, very impactful on the businesses because, you know, Nigeria is an import-driven economy, and this is going to be a trying time due to this postponement. So we thought, like President Jonathan said to Nigerians, that we should take it in good faith, but the market and, of course, the general indicators are not taking it in good faith.
Okay. Well, looking at the economy and businesses, I mean, there are some countries that have been against us postponing the elections, for example, the USA. Has this in any way affected us in terms of business and importations?
Yeah, you know, when you look at the fact that UK and US are among our leading partners, yeah, it's just a call for caution because the investors from the US and UK are very cautious now, even the EU. Even the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, once again made a statement on this postponement, urging the major candidates to respect the peace accord and also ensure that this election timetable is not rescheduled again. So all the key players globally are concerned because the Secretary of State for US, John Kerry's statement was that they were disappointed with the postponement. You know, he came to Nigeria, he visited President Jonathan, visited General Muhammadu Buhari. And so on the record, President Jonathan assured that it will not be postponed. But, you know, the reasons citing insecurity and the need to clamp down on the 3 terror-prone states being the issue is something that everyone is very cautious of that reason. And I will also bring to the fact that even the informal sector in those 3 states, Yobe, Adamawa, and Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno will be affected because as the military is going there, those activities at the informal level would be on a halt for the 6 weeks operations of multinational, because Chad and Niger are sending troops alongside Cameroon to support Nigeria.
Okay, but in terms of security, has this affected businesses as well, this election period?
Yeah, because, you know, apart from the media will still be enjoying engagement, because, of course, campaigns will go on, discussions and all that. PR will still enjoy printing, but other businesses would be experiencing capital inflow challenges. There would be investments are always key in the first quarter, and investment decisions are taken in the first quarter to set the whole year. For now, investments into the country, though we are the best investment destination in terms of ratings by WSJ, other key indicators, investments have been on the cautious level into Nigeria, and that's going to affect businesses, both in capital, money market levels. Yeah, that's a challenge.
Okay, now I'd like us to move over to the political sphere in particular. I mean, the aspirants have come up with different policies and agenda, but what exactly are these policies and agenda, policies and strategies from the aspiring presidential candidates and gubernatorial candidates?
Yeah, in terms of the political promises for the nation, that's if this
in terms of business.
Is business now. Yeah, looking at President Jonathan, the PDP, he made a promise of 2 million jobs a year. That by 2019, if he's voted, he will create 8 million jobs. Those are very hefty or huge promises, but infrastructure, which is talked about doing in various parts of the country, the issue of providing the enablers, what he has promised in several states. If those things are actualized, it can be achieved, but 8 million jobs on the real sense is very huge promise. But from the APC angle, they promised 720 jobs per year, looking at encouraging the small, medium enterprise. Both campaigns, both aspirants have assured in various places, particularly Jabari, when he went to the Southeast, promised that he's going to ensure that power sector is fully effective, optimized to help the enterprising nature of the people from the Southeast, the Igbos, who are people that are known for business, and that will be a key indicator for growth for our country. For President Jonathan, you know, there's this Shopee and the UWIN initiatives which they've been touting, but though it has been going to assessment, if it has been really impactful, he talks about the fact that he's going to continue to ensure that funds are allocated to the SME body, SMEDAN, and of course the Bank of Industry will be empowered more to fund small and medium enterprises. So looking at both candidates, yes, they've made promises. If you look at ProShare analysis of the collection of promises, ProShare NG side, they've really done a good work in collecting those promises. But for me, I believe that both have made those promises and promised to focus on the small, medium enterprises. But the actualization has been the key issue. Professor Soludo, in his article, Beyond Buhari and Jonathan, said that, you know, both the PDP candidate, President Jonathan, and Buhari, we need to see a coherence in their plan for business, credible and coherent plan. And that those are the things that we see lacking at the moment. Politicians always make promises, but breaking down the analysis is always a challenge. Compared to the campaigns of President Obama and Governor Romney in the US last election, they had, that was 2012. They went down even to tax. They told you the tax plan they had, because tax is a very key issue in businesses. Yes, we're not hearing that from other candidates. Okay, this is the tax structure we have. This is what we're going to do, tax code, you know, to ensure that businesses boom. And those are the issues. Then at the state level, I think I'll use Lagos State, because Lagos State is, for me, a lead state in the country. The APC candidate, the ruling party in Lagos, Ambode, has talked about the 25 billion naira employment fund, which will be used to encourage and those that are going to small, medium enterprises. But for Mr. Jimmy Agbaji, he wants to create an all-inclusive economy, wants to create an effective portal that will connect young people to opportunities. And it's also looking at the ocean economy. That ocean economy is very interesting, because it's going to harness the island potentials of Epe and Ikorodu, the fishing hub. And, when you turn a fishing hub from those two areas, it will create opportunities for a lot of young people, particularly in the small, medium level, which has not been harnessed before in Lagos. So those are people that you can even break down and really articulating more even than those that are contesting for the presidency.
Okay, but do you think for each aspirant that should be the major focus or the agenda for their promises and all that? Because you see that the economy can only grow through, or majorly can grow through businesses. Don't you think this should be the major agenda for each of the aspirants?
This should be, because now Nigeria has been known as a rentier economy. We've depended so much on oil.
Definitely.
Now the oil prices are going down. It's about $50 at the moment. Revenue is dropping. And so a country like Nigeria should now begin to explore the fact that we are entrepreneurial. Nigerians are enterprising, and begin to focus on encouraging businesses. That is where having an effective tax plan is, because when you have businesses thriving, they can pay tax at different levels. That's how US has become a leading economy, because these businesses pay tax. And as long as they pay tax, the businesses are receiving various aids. Even in UK, the current Commerce Secretary, Vince Cable, is creating enough enablers for businesses in UK to thrive, and they pay tax. So any economy that doesn't focus on growing businesses is not serious in the 21st century. It's not.
Okay, finally, I'm going to ask you, beyond the elections, what exactly do you think is in line for business in Nigeria? Do you think there will be an upscale or downturn in business?
I believe there will be an upscale, because, like I earlier said, Nigeria is an entrepreneurial economy. We can just hope and pray that the political process will be devoid of rancor or violence, because election is postponed to 6 weeks based on security. Even Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode was interviewed on Al Jazeera, and he did not even say that it's only security. He said that, from what he said, the INEC were not prepared, whereas the INEC chairman, Professor Jega, said they were prepared, but security issues. So when we see all these discordant signals, it creates a lot of uncertainty. We just hope that the elections will hold according to the 6 weeks timeline, because if it does not, then we're going to go to the height of uncertainty. But I just believe that through all, we should come out of that process. But yeah, at the end of that process, enterprises will boom. Nigeria is an entrepreneurial society.
Hopefully there's hope for Nigerian businesses.
There's hope
and
for
more
Nigerian
businesses to go.
I think everything is just strategically positioning us for that business-driven economy, because for so long we focused on the oil proceeds. And you can see that in this administration, we must give credit to the fact that they have improved funding to small, medium enterprise, to the Bank of Industry, SMEDAN, and we're seeing what agriculture is doing to a bit, agropreneurs, where young people. I believe there's a lot of potentials. Sure. Even the Tony Elumelu Foundation are doing a great job in encouraging entrepreneurs in the country. So there's a lot of prospects in Nigeria businesses.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Osabasa.
Thank you,
It's been a
Tayo,
great
for
time
having
with you
me.
on the Academy. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much. Yeah. Thank you.
And that'll be all on the Academy for this week. It's been a very interesting one. If indeed it has been interesting for you, please do keep it a date with us next week. And don't forget to collect your PVCs if you haven't collected it, and keep that business going. Don't forget to join us on our social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. Till next time on the Academy, thank you very much for watching.